Jeff Johansson, the Pomona Hope's Executive Director, to come up and share. Jeff Johansson grew up in the San Gabriel Valley right here and has lived in the city of Pomona for 16 years. He holds a BA in Management in Engineering from Claremont McKenna College and a BS in Electrical Engineering and Computer Science from UC Irvine. Spent 6 years on staff at KidWorks, an after-school program in Santa Ana. Jeff served on the Pomona Hope's Board of Directors for 2 years, stepping off the board to join the staff as a youth coordinator in 2012. In 2018, Jeff accepted the position of Executive Director. He lives with his wife and 2 children in the city of Pomona, and they attend First Presbyterian Church. Let's warmly welcome Jeff.
Thank you for joining us tonight for our 2021 Fundraising and Awareness Gala, Oh, the Places We'll Go, a celebration of Pomona Hope's 18th year. We are honored by your presence and appreciative for the many ways that you support the work that we are doing. I'd like to thank former board member Rusty Beath for putting together that wonderful video we just watched. The students were asked where they would like to go, and it was interesting to see the variety of responses that we received. Over the past year, we have not been able to go as many places as we would like. As our society continues to open up bit by bit, I'm sure many of you have thought about the places you'd like to go. Perhaps you have already begun to visit some of these places, a favorite vacation spot, or family and friends you have not seen in some time. At Pomona Hope, we are also thinking about where we'd like to go, but not from a recreational point of view. Where are we headed as an organization? What lies in store for the students and families we work with, and how can we ensure that they are prepared for the challenges and opportunities that await them? We are excited to be able to share some of these dreams with you this evening. This past year at Pomona Hope has certainly been filled with challenges we never would have anticipated, but I am incredibly proud of the flexibility and dedication demonstrated by our staff and volunteer teams. From virtual programming to hybrid to finally fully back in person this past summer, they have adjusted along the way. Our students have adjusted as well. When we first brought students back on site for hybrid programming, I saw a group of boys that had been a bit of a handful pre-pandemic. All right, here we go again, I thought. But I was pleasantly surprised across the board how well behaved everyone was upon returning. We had no behavior issues at all for quite a period of time. I believe that after such a long period of being confined at home, they were grateful for the opportunity to interact with peers once again in person. After a period of forced separation, they realized just how much they treasured their interactions and experiences at Pomona Hope, and it showed. Since so many of the ways that we historically functioned were not possible during this past season, we adapted and found new opportunities to engage with our students. Because we were low on college interns and volunteers, our staff were able to step back in the classroom and teach workshops on topics they were passionate about, such as Hispanic culture and heritage and crocheting. Seeing our staff instruct students directly on topics that they were passionate about was such a joy. We formed new partnerships as well to help fill some of the gaps. Project Horseshoe Farm is a nonprofit that takes recent college graduates who are looking to continue their higher education in the medical field and provides them a gap year experience where they work in the community. They are based in Alabama, but as their executive director is a Pomona College alum, they are in the process of expanding into the Pomona area. Due to the pandemic, they were not able to serve in the same partnerships that they had originally planned, and as we were low on college age and adult volunteers, we were able to form a very symbiotic partnership. Without their efforts, it would have been practically impossible for us to run our in-person programming this past year. Things went so well that a new class of Project Horseshoe Farm Fellows is partnering with us this school year as well, and things are off to a great start. Here, you can applaud for Project Horseshoe Farm, they're great. Another new partner that I want to tell you about is Mark McReynolds. He's the director of SoCal La Rocha with a mission of restoring people and places through community-based conservation. For the past year, he has been instructing our students on a variety of topics at the Center Street Community Garden, often strumming his guitar as he sings the lesson to the students. Topics include ecology, conservation, and my favorite, bird watching. One afternoon, I was sitting with a group of elementary students while they ate their afternoon snack in the courtyard, and one of them pointed and said, "Look, it's a white-crowned sparrow." I love that the lessons they were learning in the garden about our environment and our place in it were sinking in and hopefully having an impact on their future choices and interests. During the heart of the pandemic, we had to pull back on some of our offerings to focus on our core after-school programming while simultaneously executing new virtual programming for those students whose parents preferred that they remain at home. While this was painful to do, it was the right thing to do given the circumstances. However, it has brought me great excitement for the future to see these programs beginning to relaunch. Padres Fuertes hacen familias fuertes, or Strong Parents Make Strong Families, is our parent support group. Our hope has been that parents would see Pomona Hope not only as a place where their children receive support, but a place where they find community as well. Over the years, we have seen parents encourage and inspire one another, and I am happy to say that as we have begun offering Padre sessions again, parents picked right back up where they had been a year earlier. Our hope is that as they continue to meet and grow together, they will see Pomona Hope as their center too. We are also in the beginning stages of relaunching our mentoring program, led by Pomona Hope alum and one of your MCs for the evening, Montse Gonzalez. Give her a round. Yeah. There she is. Yeah. When I first started, Montse, you were, sixth grade? And I was the youth coordinator. We had this is not my speech. We had 4 junior hires. 4 junior hires, and sometimes it would just be me and Montse if the other 3 were absent that day. But we do our homework and go shoot hoops together. And now she's leading the mentoring program, which is fantastic. For years, unofficial mentorship has taken place between our volunteers and students, but we would like to formalize this process. We know the importance that having positive adult relationships can make in a young person's life, setting them on a path for future success. Mentors will be trained, provided with resources, and we will host special events for mentors and mentees to gather and bond at. We had a very successful pilot year, but our plans of expansion were set aside this past year. After some regrouping, we are starting this winter with a new pilot year in the hopes that by January 2023, any junior higher or high schooler enrolled with Pomona Hope who would like to be in a mentoring pair will be able to do so. There's one other bit of exciting news that I would like to share with you. For years, the Center Street Community Garden has been an oasis in a neighborhood sorely lacking when it comes to accessible green space. Families have saved up to $100 a month on their grocery bills by growing their own produce. And students have learned to love eating their vegetables, once they were the ones that prepared the soil, planted the seed, and nurtured the seedling. Many of you here tonight have supported the Save Our Garden campaign financially and through your advocacy. Tonight, I am happy to share with you that the proposed development of the garden space, as well as the housing along that block, has fallen through. That's worth applauding. We have met with city representatives, and I'm not sure how much I can say at this time, but what I can say is there is now a desire from all sides for the garden to remain as green space and for the housing, where several Pomona Hope students have lived over the years, to remain as well. This has been a long, hard process, and the way forward was not always clear. I am grateful for the support and encouragement that you have shown, and delighted that the garden property will continue to be a much-needed oasis for our neighborhood for years to come. Amen. One of our former students once said, "Every community should have a Pomona Hope. There should be a Claremont Hope and a Laverne Hope." While I appreciate the heart behind her sentiment, there is a reason that we feel called to Pomona. The students we work with are fantastic young people with great abilities, talents, and potential. However, growing up in a historically under-resourced community like Pomona can certainly have its challenges. Through our holistic programming, we try and help close some of the gaps that may exist, providing opportunities to our students that they might not otherwise have access to. From gardening to STEM to the arts, perhaps a student will realize a talent or a passion they had not previously identified. Through leadership classes and opportunities, students begin to recognize the value of their own voice and ideas. Through college success programming and Campus Crash college tours, students can say, hey, maybe college is a place I could see myself in the future. The students we are working with today are the future community leaders, business owners, working professionals, teachers, and parents of tomorrow. Investing in them today is an investment in the future. Our staff and volunteers have invested our time, resources, and yes, sometimes tears, because we see value in each of these young lives. Our hope is that you do too. Just imagine the places that they will go because of your support and commitment. Thank you and have a great evening.